Hello and welcome to Tech Deals. Will it play GTA 5 on the $170 Ryzen 5 2400G with integrated graphics, the Vega 11 iGPU? Yes, it will, quite well actually. I continue to be impressed by just how many games these new APUs from AMD will play. No, they're not perfect, no, they're not super powerful like a dedicated graphics card is, but especially now in the first quarter of 2018 when I'm recording this, the fact that you can go out and spend under $200 and get a CPU-GPU combo with 4 cores, 8 threads, and all this performance? Wow. We are playing at 1080p high detail, and this is very smooth. And let me tell you, it's not just frame rate, it's playability. The car's easy to control, the game's easy to control, the character, everything is very responsive. Would I play GTA 5 on this APU? Absolutely, yes I would. Would I do it at high detail? Absolutely. No, it's not 60 frames per second, and no, the average is not going to be 60. If you look at our real-time frame rate, we're at about 45, 46 frames per second at the moment. That's actually pretty close to where it's going to end up being. The 1% numbers and the 0.1% are interesting. You'll see those at the end of the video. But actually, this is really good. Now, you could certainly turn the detail down just a bit if you turn a couple of the items down to normal from high. Oh, thankfully it's a game and not real life, because otherwise that would have hurt. If you turn a couple of the things down to normal from high, sure, you can absolutely get 60 frames per second. The primary limit to performance here is in fact the iGPU, which is currently running at 100%. The CPU is at 50%. That means we're using 4 cores, but not using much of the actual 8 threads. Some games need them, some games don't, and some games will benefit from them. Sorry, Mr. Sir on a motorcycle. Oh, these people don't mind. Jeez, I am a terrible driver. Shame on them for being on the sidewalk. What can I say? Oh, that is a really solid stand here. How about we just shoot everybody? That's just awful. I know. I'm a bit crazy when I play this game. Thankfully, it's just a game and not real life. Anyway, back to the threads. So, 4 cores, 8 threads. This does in fact play pretty well on the Ryzen 3 2200G, but because of the graphics chip being lower performance, it has fewer shaders, lower clock speed, it's not quite as good at this. And somehow we survived this. If you're going to buy the Ryzen 3 2200G, play at normal detail, not high. That will make up the difference. Essentially, that's what you're getting when you jump to this, is it gets you the ability to do high instead of normal. It looks nicer, the textures are nicer, just the world and everything's a bit nicer, but it is in fact playable on the Ryzen 3 at normal. It's playable at high, but the frame rate is noticeably lower and the minimums are noticeably lower, and I'll show you that in another video. But suffice it to say, if you want to play AAA games, if you want to play everything from Battlefield 1 to Ghost Recon Wildlands, yes, it plays on this. If you want to play GTA 5, get a Ryzen 5 2400G instead of a Ryzen 3 2200. The Ryzen 3 2200 is for League of Legends, CSGO, Overwatch is fine on it, a few others. But if you've got the extra $70, if you're waffling between, do I get the Ryzen 3, do I get the Ryzen 5? If you have the $70, it's a no-brainer. Get the Ryzen 5. If you don't, well, then don't. Just keep in mind that it's more performance limited and you're going to need to upgrade sooner. Is it just me, or is that red car also driving the wrong way down the street? I just noticed that. I don't even think I noticed it when I was playing this, but that car was driving with me. What was he doing? An interesting thought, this game does have a built-in benchmark, and it's not a bad one, mind you. It does have multiple scenes and carries over multiple places. The big thing that the built-in benchmark tests is the graphics chip. What it doesn't test is the CPU, because you're not actually playing, it's a very low CPU usage, which is why I do these live gameplays. I think they're much more illustrative. The other thing that live gameplay does is gives you input lag information, and as I said, this is very, very smooth, and I wouldn't have any problem playing on it. You know what just occurred to me? The one thing this game is missing is like a damage count, body count meter. It would be cool to go on a rampage and have it keep track of all the vehicles you trash, all the, the police cars you destroy, all the people that you shoot. I know that's terrible and awful, and of course it would be in real life. That's why we do this in games. But it would be kind of cool to see if you can get your best score in 5 minutes or something, or which part of town gets you the most carnage in a 5-minute run or something. That would be a lot of fun and cool to put into a benchmark. Hey, are you paying attention? Put that in the game. Jumping forward to the benchmarks, 43 frames per second average, 32 frames per second, 1% low, 27 frames per second, 0.1% low. Now we are running 1080p high detail. If you lower everything to normal detail, you'll get closer to 60 frames per second, or you can lower the resolution to 900p or 720p if you prefer a higher frame rate, but of course you give up detail in the process. Now if you want to run this at over 60 frames per second, even at the 1% low at 1080p high detail, you'll need an add-in graphics card. A GTX 1050 Ti, for example, would do excellent at that. But those cards are running over $200 at the moment, just barely, about $210. This CPU is $170 and includes both graphics and CPU all in one, and that makes it an incredible value for the money. Like this video if you like it, share it with your friends if you loved it. Remember to subscribe to my channel with that big huge red button directly below. Post your comments below the video and check the video description for links and details. Links to Amazon and Newegg for both of these APUs, the Ryzen 3 and the Ryzen 5. Links to my full playlist of Will It Play. Links to all of the Will It Plays for this particular APU and a bunch of other stuff down there. Please check them out. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.